So today we are on a dusty ass supercar, and we are going to be talking to you guys about lessons learned from failure in business. And I'm gonna kick it off. I got one that's pretty prevalent. Every business starts with you being self-employed, and then eventually you get to the point where you have enough work or enough opportunity that you can bring other people and learn how to manage the other people doing the same skill, right? With literally anything. So first lesson I've ever learned from failure was whenever I was making the transition from just being me to having sales reps and being me and other people, I thought that my example mattered more than anything else. So all my energy was spent on me going and like selling as many accounts as I could, or like me saying, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And eventually that leads to a little bit of resentment because everybody thinks that you're trying to say like I'm so much better than you guys, but in reality like you're just trying to say I can do this, so can you. But when you miss this one key fundamental factor, it leads into a little bit of resentment and you don't get the results that you want. And that fundamental factor is time spent not by yourself. You have to take time away from doing the thing that you're doing to try to show them that it's possible, and actually go like hang out with them a little bit, talk to them, instill belief into them, like work on their sales pitch a little bit as well. Like you have to like take some of the energy that you think is best used by going out and getting the results and showing everybody that it's possible. Take some of that energy and roll it into like, I believe in you, you can do this. It's not just possible for me, it is also possible for you. And I think that's one thing that I messed up on pretty bad, even this last summer. It's not just failures that I've learned from way long like back in the day, but even just this last summer, like I got really focused in being a leader and not a mentor. I was only leading from the front, and I wasn't helping other people lead themselves. I was just trying to lead everybody through leading myself, if that makes sense. So that's the first lesson. Next lesson we got from Mr. Miller here.
Yeah, one thing I would say, just trying to piggyback off of that, is it's just investment. Everything in life is an investment, whether it's not always financially, right? But when you're leading people and you do have to take that time away from your success, right? Or you're leading from the front and showing by example, you're investing that time that you take away into your guys, right? And you're teaching them how to lead, and you're not leading from the front, but you're pushing from the back, right? And so it's an investment of your time. That way you can, with those people that you've helped lead and you've helped, their success, then you can delegate more of those tasks onto them, right? Which gives you more time to go back to leading from the front, right? And so it's all just about an investment of time. And a lot of people say, no, I don't have the time. I have to just lead from the front. I have to show the example. But it's the same way of, no, I have no money to invest in a property or whatever it is, or to invest in real estate or stocks. It's the same thing in your business, is you just have to invest that time, because your time is your money, right? And so once you invest into your guys, then they'll give you that time back. So I think that's the perfect way of kind of putting it.
Dude, to move on to number 3, speaking of investments, I learned this one pretty aggressively whenever I was just starting out in the stock market world. I used to trade options trades, and this one is risk to reward. I'm sure you guys have heard of this a lot. Better known as risk management. So, even in the door-to-door sales world, I've ran into a couple of these things where it's like, if you have a possible winner in terms of like a stock that you're going to buy, and it has very little upside, you obviously don't want to take the risk on a possibility with small upside. But if you have a guaranteed winner with very, very minimal upside, you're probably going to want to take the bet on the guaranteed winner, because it's guaranteed. It's like a freebie, right? It's like investing in the S&P 500, which is the broad market fund for all of America, that is just going to go up over time. It's gone up since inception, since it was created. But like in business, you're going to run into a lot of these things where it's like, I might have to take this risk to leverage this money to buy this equipment to get this job to make this money. And I think a lot of people look at risk as a negative, whenever a lot of the times if you can just learn how to manage risk or hedge your bets a little bit, it's actually the best thing possible for business growth. Like, if you have no leverage, you have no leverage. Like, the entire like idea of leverage is being able to move more with a little bit less. Like, it's levered. And I think most people view it as a negative, but if you can learn to view it as a positive and correctly assess the risk, like at the end of the day, if you need to use that money to get that equipment, to get that job, but there's 7 people that need you to have that equipment to do that job, it's like very, very obvious that you should take that risk, leverage that debt, get that equipment, and take those 7 jobs, and then pay off the leverage equipment debt, essentially. So have a healthy relationship with risk, but also learn how to manage it. You never want to take plays that will literally put you out of business forever, but you do always want to take plays that if they go wrong, you'll still be good, but if they go right, you'll be tremendously better, if that makes sense. So on to number 4, Miller.
Number 4, I'd say year over year improvement, especially coming after like what feels like losses or failures, is just looking back at your work ethic. Every single year, we always look back on what we could have done better and what we could have improved. And we say, this next year, I'm going to 100% improve it. And a lot of times that's not the case, and it doesn't need to be the case, right? Because we're humans. We're always going to have that time of slacking or that time of, where we don't want to do it, right? But if you can get better just 1% every single day, or just, 50% the next year, where let's say, for example, we do door-to-door sales, and the last year, every day before the knocking period, you stay in your car 15 minutes, right? The next year, you'll say, hey, I'm never going to stay in my car again. The odds of that are just very low, right? Because we are human, right? And there's some things that we don't want to do, and so we're going to procrastinate. So it's not that you never need to not stay in your car a little bit before it's time to work. It's that, hey, whenever I catch myself doing that, I'm going to commit to just getting out right then, right? And commit to that. And every day it's not going to happen. But if you continuously think about it and commit to it and just try to get better year over year, then it's going to end up happening. And then 2 years, 3 years down the
compound interest is
compound
real.
interest.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be exponentially better 5 years down the line, rather than if every year you just say, I'm going to stop at 100%, and then you end up failing, and it gets worse, and your anxiety gets worse, and then you stop working even as hard as you did the year before. So just always committing to try and get better, not eliminating what you're not good at.
No, I love that. You can't just completely eliminate failure. We're human, bro, like I was saying. But I do really like the idea of just committing to being a little bit better. You're still going to fail on so many levels. It just happens. You're human. We're in business. Those are the 2 things that failure is just prone to be around. But the commitment, and then another thing I would say is just the trackable commitment. It's you can just make it something trackable or tangible. It's way easier for your brain to understand or hold yourself to in terms of discipline, because it's let's use his example. It's let's say you wasted 15 minutes a day last year, and it's if you tell your brain, it's even on my worst days, I'm only going to let myself waste 10 minutes this year. It's that right there is an easy cutoff where you're all right, if I'm going to stick to this commitment and I'm going to get better, this is it. This is, you know what I mean? Instead of, I'm going to waste a little bit less time. It's well, maybe some days you waste 30 and some days you waste 10, and then you don't actually ever keep track of it because it's not something that's tangible.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we'll finish the video here so we don't keep you guys all day. When you first start out, people, I'm not even going to say hate, because that is such a cliche word, but people will object. People won't understand what you're doing. They won't really and this is something that I've learned from failures, they won't really encourage it. And whenever it does fail, they'll come down on it harder while you're kind of at a weak point to try to be look, I told you. And a lot of the times it's them trying to be good to you and nice to you because they don't understand it. And they want what's best for you, because most of the time it's going to be your parents, it's going to be your friends, it's going to be your teachers, it's going to be your grandparents, it's going to be your girlfriend's dad, whatever it is. Like, most of the time they're gonna tell you stuff like this, and they think that they're doing good for you because they don't understand it. And it is going to come worst whenever you fail, or whenever you start, and most of the time whenever you start you fail. So it just is what it is. Like, you have to be able to live and learn and just go with the flow, essentially, with that. Like, if you're going to start posting Instagram videos, everybody's going to tell you look stupid at first. There's going to be a shit ton of people that hate on you at first until you have 100,000 followers, and then they're like, oh shit dude, those Instagram videos are sick. It's like, yeah, I know they are. They have been since the first day I started making them, but you didn't know that. And I'm telling you, the same thing with business. It's like, I told a bunch of people I was going to sell pest control. I had some people fucking laugh at me. And now I'm making $500,000 a year at 22 years old, driving a supercar with my best friend, owning millions of dollars in real estate. It's like, laugh at me all you want. I don't care. Because, like, if you have the vision and you know what's coming, it does not matter what these people say. But a lesson learned from my personal failure is people are going to laugh at the failure. People are going to press at the failure. People are going to say you're going to fail before you fail. Like, it just is what it is, and you got to be okay with that as a business owner or an entrepreneur or somebody who just wants to do something different in life. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's business at this point. You could want to go be a dancer and make no money and live in Hawaii for the rest of your life. Like, somebody's going to hate on that shit. But if it's what you want to do and it's what you want out of your life, who cares what they think? It's not their life. So that would be the last tip to kind of like round off the video. But I'm going to let Miller give us our outro today. Go ahead and give us a banger right here, Mill.
Cool. Hopefully we helped at least one of you guys watching. And if not, maybe tune into the next video and I'm sure we'll help you then. But other than that, if you're interested in just hearing our story of what we've been through, what we've learned, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.